Alright, what is up guys? We're back with another video, and today we're going to be back testing Asia Session, right? Because now I'm starting to like Asia Session price action, so, I'm just going to kind of test it more and kind of see how it does. So we're just going to go into back testing, right? And this is like a random day, right? I randomly picked it, 8/10, so August 10, and starts at 8 p.m., right? So this is 7:59, and then the next candle is going to be 8 p.m. So first thing what we have to do is monthly time frame, right? So we get that monthly bias, and we're just gonna kind of see what the monthly looks like. See it definitely bullish, right? Ripping up high from here. So yeah, that's definitely what we're gonna be looking for. And then right here on the weekly, we have SMT with the ES, and we're ripping higher, so definitely bullish on the monthly, weekly. On the daily, also looking pretty bullish, right? We had have a daily gap right here. So this is pretty important stuff to look at. So we're just gonna, yeah, it's kind of hard to drag out something this small. If you like zoom in, you get like a better picture. But anyways, do this. So we want to see a good bullish reaction from here, right? We don't really care about this rejection block, right? It swept this high, but we don't care because we're still bullish overall. Now this gap could get tagged into, but not sure. We're just hoping that this is gonna hold, but it could go down lower. So don't know. Then on the 7 hour, let's see what we got. Alright, so on the 7 hour, we do have this other gap. So I'm just gonna mark this out, right? 7 hour. Kind of do something like this. Move this a bit this way. So yeah, I'm hoping this 7 hour will get tagged into. Maybe we can like take a long into here. Or if we displace through this gap and we end up going down lower into that lower daily gap, like if we basically end up closing through here, right? So from here we close to this gap, that means you're probably gonna go down lower into the other daily gap, right? So now we're looking for shorts. So if we don't get a nice bullish reaction from here, and if we close below, I'm gonna be looking for a retrace back into this 7 hour gap, and then taking good shorts from here, right? So we can kind of play it both ways. I'm leaning more bullish though, but anything can happen, so not a concern. Right here, yeah, 4 hour, nothing really. 2 hour, yeah, really nothing. It's already mitigated. Check the 1 hour. Yeah, like we have a pretty good game plan. And then for the 30 minute, let's see what we got. Okay, we went SMT. Okay, well, we still have to take PM lows and lunch lows, so we're still gonna be a little bearish if we're gonna take these out. Alright, so honestly I'd say like both ways. Since we need to take these out, we do have a 50-minute gap here. I'm just gonna count this whole thing as one big 15-minute gap because they're both unmitigated. And we'll see how this plays out. Right, because we need to take these out. Like if we... pretty interesting here. Okay, so if we're going to be bullish from here, I want to see price take out PM lows and lunch lows since they're really close by. So I want these to get taken out and then rip higher. So we're going to be looking for shorts down here initially. Right, so let's check the 5 minute. And this is a daily gap, by the way. This is the 50-minute gap. Okay, so did we mitigate the 15-minute? Okay, it's already mitigated. Yeah, okay, so we can't really use this. So probably this one. Alright, we can't really use this. So let's just see how open plays out. Alright, let's look at the 5 minute. Yeah, nothing crazy on the 5 minute. Still got that one though. So what does open do? Okay, we open lower. Alright. 18 points. 19 points. Alright, let's see what happens. Okay, so we're actually taking out Asia lows and lunch lows. That's good. Nice. Okay, so we took them out. So now I should be looking for longs, right? Because there's nothing else nearby. Unless we have like higher time frame stuff. Alright. Got a bunch of indicators, so it looks all weird. But I've already mitigated. So I'm hoping this gets a nice reaction. But if it doesn't, then I'm looking for the... Oh man. I'm going to be looking for this lower daily gap. That's all the way here. DOL. Alright, so we'll just see how this plays out. Right, I have no idea what's going to happen right now. Alright, nice. So we got a good inverse. Alright, if we check the daily. It's actually like kind of reversing off of here. So this is pretty good if we're bullish. So this is honestly a pretty decent long right here. Check the 5 minute, no, 4 minute, 3 minute, 2 minute, and then lastly checking the 1 minute. Yep, so 1 minute's the highest time frame inverse. So let's see what happens if we take a position right here. If we end up taking a long, right? So long stop here, and then probably just targeting here for 1.9. Or you probably could target the gap. And then just go break even at this point right here. Wait, I don't know why this is weird. Hold up. Template. Yo, this is kind of weird for some reason. Alright. Whatever. Right, so target here, 50-minute gap. And I would say just go break even right here. Right, the colors are a little bit off. That's why I was... Okay. Break even. Nice. Right, good 3.12 RR trade. And yeah, we took out PM lows, took out lunch lows, got that nice inversion, entered at that thing, stop. Yeah, stop should be here. Actually, I don't know why that did it, but right, we got this gap and then we mitigated it. So this could have been another entry for you, but for me, I just like doing it off the first inversion. Right, so like after we inverted this gap right here with the volume imbalance, we inverted it. That's my entry, but could take this better entry here, but I personally don't do that. I just do this, right? Because you don't always get this entry. Sometimes price just leaves. So it's easier to just enter on something like this. Right, and then stop at the lows. And you could go break even here. Right? But it's not that strong. And the reason for it is this is like the spot where price could reverse, right? Like this is like your main leg here from this point to this point. Now you could consider this another leg, but like kind of in this area price can just chop around, right? Because this is like your full range. Like let me try to explain this better, right? From here to here is your range that you're kind of dealing with here, right? Now if you're targeting this, then you could go break even here. But if you're targeting something higher, I would pick a higher break even spot. And the reason for that is because I want my trade to work out more times than not work out. Alright? So this is where we pretty much break structure. Actually no, this is the change in character. Yeah, so this is a change in character, and at that point price can retrace. In this case it just doesn't retrace, but it can. It has a, there is a probability of it retracing, right? It just didn't, but it can. So we go break even at this point because when it does retrace, we don't want it to go all the way to our entry, right? Because that's just too much of a retrace. We don't want it to retrace that much. So that's why we go break even here. And then yeah, I mean, it's a good trade. Right, and by the way, this is my first time looking at this day, right? I usually trade AM, so I never traded Asia session on August 10th, so it's fresh perspective. All right, got a good 2.87, and yeah, works out. So yeah, that's it for the video.